You have to leave out my phone.
Blessings, blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I see that I have 5 viewers. Blessings. Pray that you had a great day. Looking forward to a very fruitful conversation tonight. Forgive the noise. Ironic, the topic tonight is kill the noise. But we're going to be on here for a little while, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. How was your day, Sister Tori? A couple of people have signed on and then went back out so that they can still hear, and that's good. Glad you want to listen. My day was okay. Busy, which is always good for me because it keeps my mind focused on things other than what's bothering me. But thank you so much for asking. Could complain, but it won't change it. So overall, the fact that we're alive above ground and able to talk about it, it's been another day of God's mercy, wherein we are glad. Hey, cousin. Marsha says hi.
Hi.
She's in the room. She's finishing up one of her grandbaby's heads. She's been braiding hair, so she'll join us before it's all over. But we thank you all for joining us tonight. Killing the noise. I figured quite a few. Might join in. Killing the noise. Blessing, Shay. So, I've been doing really good these past couple of weeks. We're not staying on too long. So we want to make tonight the same. But we will not cut your conversation. I would love, absolutely love to hear your opinions about killing, hey Dom, killing the noise. Perhaps one of you might want to come on as a guest tonight. You're more than welcome, because that's what we're going to be talking about. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. The ability to be able to kill the noise. So between the 2 pages, I have at least 10 that are showing. Like I said, there's a couple that's joined in and went right back out. Thank you for being out there. Hey, Ro. Hey, Ro. Thanks for joining. So when I looked up the word noise, I looked up the word noise. And it said a sound, especially one that is loud or unpleasant or that causes disturbance. I'll say it again. A sound, especially one that is loud or unpleasant or that causes disturbance. So tonight we want to talk about killing the noise. Killing the noise. Making a lot of noise. Just loud for no reason. Unpleasant. Causing a disturbance. And tonight we want to talk about the various things in our lives that have turned into noise. Killing the noise, getting that unpleasantness out of your personal space, that disturbance of the mind. Just getting it out of the way. Sometimes, we hear people, we see people talking because most of us have already tuned them out. And it's like, wah, 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 because you don't want to hear what they got to say. Noise. Noise. Even though in some instances, hey, Tanasia, in some instances, it is much needed advice. It doesn't mean that I'm always ready for it. Doesn't mean that I always want it. Sometimes I just want to vent. I want to get it out there. I don't need you to respond. I just need to know that you're there. I don't need you to, hey nephew, long time no see. I don't necessarily need you to give me feedback. I just need something to get all of this noise out of my head, off my chest, and onto something else. And a lot of times I say to people, don't try to put on me what you can't handle yourself. But when you really think about it, it is because they can't handle it themselves that they need you. So sometimes it's much needed. But tonight, we're talking about killing the noise, guarding those ear gates, killing the noise, the unnecessary, the unwarranted conversation, killing the noise, not allowing what is happening around you to change who you are and where you're going, killing the noise. Some folk, and I'll say some folk, I'll leave it like that. Some folk feel that they are saying a lot when they use profanity, all this crazy conversation, they feel like it makes them look big or feel big or, I don't know, enhanced in the situation. When in all, actuality, it's just noise. It's just noise because at the end of the day, if that's all you have to define what's going on, it's noise. Have you ever considered walking up walking up to a conversation that is already in progress with somebody else, and then out of nowhere, without you even being asked, you just start talking? You just start participating in the conversation, and they look at you, but nobody wants to be the one to say, I'm sorry, did we invite you into this conversation? Like, miss me with that. Can you kill that? Like, can you just be rid of that right now? And then there are times when we are angry, frustrated, annoyed, and we're just not trying to hear it. We're just not trying to hear what anybody else has to say. So for us at that moment, it's just like noise. Just get it out of my ear. I'm not trying to hear that right now. This is where I am. I hear what you're saying, but what I want you to do is leave me alone and allow me to be right where I am. I need you to kill the noise. I need you to kill the noise. And when I looked up the purpose of noise canceling, here I go, noise canceling headphones, it says to reduce unwanted ambient sounds using active noise control. I'll say it again, sure. Noise canceling headphones reduce unwanted ambient sounds using active noise control. Now, when I first came to Pennsylvania, I went from working in the medical field for all of my working life to dealing with autistic children in the school system. And one thing that we had in our classroom at all times in our specials, whether it be gym, art, music, was noise canceling headphones because some autistic children can't handle loud noises. They are not able to function. It kind of triggers them and they riffle out into this, you know, sometimes throwing chairs, sometimes hollering, sometimes cussing, depending on the day, spitting. Noise just seems to interrupt their world. And the only way they have of showing you that that's what it's doing is by them doing those particular things, throwing chairs, running around the class, running out the door down the hall, whatever is going to cause you to remove them from that situation. A lot of us have that going on in our lives and we don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to say it to different people because some people mean well, but they do no good. And you can't say that to them without causing offense. And so therefore you're tolerating it. And at the same time, in your mind, the whole time that is going on, is you're like, it's just noise. I just wish they would stop. I just wish they would shut up. I wish they would just understand. Why can't they tell that I'm really not feeling what they're saying right now? Why can't they tell that I really don't approve of what's happening right now? And that is because a lot of us are horrible at articulating exactly where we are at the moment. We wake up. I can only use myself as the most recent example. Was feeling some kind of way, woke up emotional. My bestie was like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know, just emotional all over the place. I'm one of those people, if I can't put a label on it, I'd rather not talk about it until I can, because it just makes it more frustrating that I can't tell you exactly what's wrong or what's going on. And days would go on and I didn't realize that I had gotten snappy or, gotten short with her, and she just kept on talking soft and just kept on checking in and making sure all was good. And then talking to my oldest daughter, we came to the realization that, hey, this is the anniversary of my mom's death. This is that time. She died, and then we had to go through it again, and then we had to wait to funeralize her. Then we had to wait to bury her. So the month of March is just full of anguish, pain, hurt, disappointment, devastation. And it had me at a place where I was just like, just kill it, whatever. Not now. Maybe in a few moments, but just not now. You just want everything else around you to cease because of what you're feeling at the moment. You have, and some people experience this even in relationship. You'd be surprised. I know that I am sometimes when I'm sitting and I'm counseling and I'm hearing people and they're talking about the things that go on, and when it all boils down to it, nobody's hearing the other one. And as far as the other one is concerned, we each ain't doing nothing but talking noise. And we just wanted to stop because we would rather make sense, yet we can't make sense. Why? Because both of us are doing the talking at each other about the same thing, not realizing that the reason why we're more frustrated is because we still never heard what the other one was saying. How do you fix what you can't hear? How do you hear what you don't want to listen to? How do you solve what you don't know? And so as things are progressing and the loudness goes on, even when we're in church sometime, I mean, we're a loud church. We really are. We are a loud church. How are y'all loud? Trust me, we're loud. We even have ear noise canceling headphone, the earbud things for people to put in because we're loud. We're in a small space. We're a musical church and we're loud. And we shabak a lot. So I'm sure that there are some people who are being nice when we offer them the earphones and they're saying no. but in essence, you're seeing their body sometimes, and you just like, they're saying, like, just kill the noise. It's not that it's not good, but it's so loud that I can't appreciate it. And sometimes that is where we are in conversations with people. They're talking so loud that it kind of like disables any active part of you taking in what they're saying. Instead, you're rejecting something that you really need at the moment. What about you? Those of you between the 2 pages, I have like 10 people now. Have you ever found yourself, well, would you like to be transparent enough to let us know? Because I'm sure most of us have been in that situation where you was just kill it. Like, I don't even want to hear no more. Whatever was going on, whatever the conversation is, it's just not going nowhere. It doesn't seem to have any resolve. It doesn't look like there's a light at the end of this tunnel. I just want to be done with this conversation. I just want to be done with you right now. I just really need to get out of where you are. So how about you? Have you found yourself in that situation just saying, just kill the noise, like, miss me with that? I'm not trying to hear that right now. You're saying a whole lot of nothing, because where I am right now, I can't even try to process what you're saying to me because I'm so engulfed in what I'm feeling. Just jacked up right now. You talking to me like you can't see what's going on. And I'm just saying, could you just kill the noise? Could you just like move away from me with that? And like I said, when I looked up noise, and it gave me that unpleasant, that disturbance. And then when I looked up the purpose of noise canceling headphones, I immediately went back to my autistic classroom and said, oh, well, that is their way of tuning out the noise and being able to stay in a calm place. And I found myself in these latter years finding myself saying, I just wish we could kill the noise. Unwarranted advice, unwarranted diagnoses. Just kill it. Have you found yourself there? And be willing to be transparent enough? You know, some people say that even while we're sitting in church. I wish they'd kill the noise. I'm so tired of hearing that. Tanisha says, I've been in that place. And when I'm in that kind of moment, I tune people out. I imagine you forgot the rest of that word. I tend to get upset and shut down. Excuse me, y'all. That's a real place. She's not the only one. I can guarantee you she's not the only one. She might be the only one willing to say. She's still being general right now, so she hasn't gotten too personal, but she is talking about herself. And nobody can talk about themselves better than the person themselves. I tell people all the time, you want to know? Ask me. Don't ask around. Come to me. I'm pretty much going to tell you exactly what you need to know. And so Tanasia says that when she finds herself in that place, she tends to tune people out. And I'm smiling because I want to say in the very beginnings of our friendship, my bestie used to ask me about that. It was like I could be in a room full of people and hear absolutely nothing that they're saying. And she would be like, I don't even know how you could do that with everything that was going on. And I'm like, believe it or not, once things start and I know that I don't choose to participate, or probably would be best off if I didn't give my opinion on something because I knew it wouldn't be liked, I just tune out. So everybody's talking, and by the time they come to me, I'm trying to figure out why they asking me a question, because I didn't understand what was going on in the first place. So, Tanisha, I get it. I get it. And I'm sure that there are other people out there as well. Let me again Let me again say what noise is according to this Oxford Language Dictionary. Noise is a sound, especially one that is loud, unpleasant, or causes disturbance. Have you ever been in a room and somebody's voice just disturbed you? Like you were fine and you were doing just well and the atmosphere was sweet and somebody walked in the room and your whole demeanor changed. And everybody like, what's up? You ain't nothing. No, for real. Like, what happened? You shifted. Like, what we missed? Tell us, and you just find yourself saying, I'd rather not say I'm good, when in essence, you're just trying to tune out that which has arrived because it causes an annoyance, or as this dictionary so graciously put, causes a disturbance to your spirit, and let me give you a better example. You have a friend and your friend has another friend but doesn't like you. You ever found yourself in that place where you were in the room, you went with your friend somewhere, and she's introducing you to people, and you find out that there are some of her friends that you just don't care for, or vice versa? They saw that there was some of your friends, and we got to be in this whole room together for this whole time, and we got to act like everything is cool, when in essence, you're pretty much tuning everything else out and only hearing the conversation you choose to hear. Tanisha says, or if I'm focused on something, I can't stand being bothered. I get annoyed real fast. Tori says, yes, I've had that. I hear someone's voice and it just bothers me. It's a real place. It really is a real place. I've graduated. I'd like to believe my bestie probably could be a better judge of that, but I feel like I've graduated to the point where that individual doesn't even realize it's them that's bothering me, and so we just continue to go on throughout the day and or throughout the evening, depending on what social setting that we're in, via church versus, just out socializing, out to eat, celebration of some sort where we have mutual friends. And so we find ourselves both being at the same place, yet wishing that other person really wasn't here. It's a moment of transparency. And then you get to that place. It's a graduated place where you're able to function no matter what, and you're able to make even your worst enemy feel comfortable. I have been working on that for a lot of years, and in my learning process, those around me don't necessarily always like what I have to say because they want to deal with it or they want to say something. I'm like, don't even mention it. Don't even participate in it. Just ignore it. Let it go. Don't defend it. And you just want to like go and shake that person and say, could you just stop? You just want the noise to stop. It is this particular individual that keeps that unpleasantness in your environment or in your circle. It's like they're not happy unless someone else is miserable. Have you experienced that? And you just like, I'm good with it in this hour. Miss me with it. Just miss me with it, because I'm choosing to live a different way in this hour. I'm choosing to make sure that I'm happy no matter what environment I'm in. I'm choosing to remove myself when what I've been invited to or what I find myself in doesn't allow me to be my best self. I choose to kill the noise. I choose to remove myself from, as what this dictionary says, this place of disturbance, this unpleasant feeling that I'm having. I put on my own invisible noise canceling headphones. That is how I survive the night. And sometimes my children be like, I don't get it. I don't know how you do it. It's an art. It's something that you learn to do. It is not something that just happened. It took many years to get to this place, and I try to help others around me get there, but they just don't understand my logic in walking away from various situations or various conversations. You don't always have to participate in everybody's conversation just to be accepted. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And so when I did figure that out, when I did learn that I really did have a choice in the matter. For so many years, I didn't believe that. And many of you who follow me know. And I was just that people pleaser because I wanted to feel validated. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be a part of it. And then I found out that I didn't really need anybody else's validation in order to be who God created me to be. And when I came to that realization, there was a portion of me that began to be healed. And in that process, I decided to kill the noise. I decided to determine my worth. I decided to determine whether I would allow my value to be put into another person's space. I decided, with the help of God. Surely it took God, because for many, many years, and I tell those people that I counsel, especially these young ladies and these young men that I have at my my voice and that are listening to me, I try to help them not stay as long as it took me to get out. My job now is to go back and say, hey, I was there. It took me so many years to do that. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to find yourself there. Let me help you get out early. That's what this is. Even Loving the Me I See, that's really what it's all about. Not having somebody take as long as it took me to realize that I mattered, whether I was with that group or not, that I had something to offer those around me, even if those that I wanted to think that way never made me feel like it. I came to that realization with the help of God and healing and therapy that I had something to offer that was just as important as the next person. And I didn't have to force myself on anyone. Anyone. So my cousin says, so true. I'm at the age where I actually, in my spirit, set the atmosphere and keep it moving, which includes sometimes killing the noise with my exit. Facts. Facts. I can determine how long. Well, let me take that back, because I can't drive myself everywhere at night. So it depends on the time of day. But for the most part, I can remove myself from any place that becomes noisy to me. Except that I've, ridden somewhere with someone and they're the driver and I have to wait, but I still remove myself. I'll find my way to a ladies' room, depending on the temperature. I can find myself a good walking space. Uh, and I can even sit in a car, and listen to music just to bring me back to myself, rather than allow the noise of the current situation to change who I am. I've just gotten tired of always being the one. My children would say to me, even as coming up in church, how come our church always has to be the role model? How come every time we join up with somebody, we're the ones who have to set the example? And I said, because I called it to that. I came from a place. You came from origin of a set trend. We came from a place that produced leadership, and so we have no other choice but to be leaders, no matter where we go, no matter who we're under. There's leadership quality in us that does not allow us to keep silent, and so sometimes we have to kill our own noise because people can't handle us. Let's just tell the truth. It's not always that you don't fit in because of who they are. It is sometimes because they cannot handle you. And rather than admit that, they would make it seem like you just don't fit in. Not to be cocky, but confident in who I am in Christ. I know my presence is a gift in whatever space I occupy. And if I'm not in a good space, the gift must be removed. I posted something like this on my Facebook page the other day. I was strolling through Facebook. It wasn't mine. It wasn't my property. I reposted something that I saw that said this similar thing. Like, I just removed myself. I need you to understand the privilege of having me in your company. I no longer have to feel like I'm the one who's privileged to be in somebody else's company. God made me, and he made me fearfully and wonderfully, and he had something in mind when he created me. And because I lost my way along, life's journey, because of things that I went through, that I did not realize my true value, my true worth, I allowed myself to put up with noisy situations. And now I've come to that time in my life, and age, that, I don't have to do that anymore. It might not be a popular place to be, but where I am is all right with me. I don't have to stay where, I'm not acknowledged. I don't have to stay where I'm made to feel like I don't matter, or that my presence is unwarranted. I do know the gift of goodbye. I really do. It's a art. The gift of goodbye has some freedom attached to it. And so sometimes killing the noise, hey Daniela, hey Cece, sometimes killing the noise is just removing yourself. You don't have to make a scene. It's just time to go. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate you. Just time for me to go. You know what? I realized that I probably should have been home by now, or I forgot something else that I needed to do. It would not be a lie in my uh, particular lifestyle, because it's so busy. A lot of times I do forget that I was supposed to be here as well, and I'm going 2 and 3 places when I should only be going one. And it, my body is now starting to remind me, about that. But I'm just, I don't think I'll ever change my, as much as I say, you know what, I'm not going over there no more, because I'm always supporting. I'm always, giving somebody else advice. Then when they get to where they got to go, they forget who I was, and they only give tribute to that's taking care of them right now. But I was the one that opened the door when nobody wanted to hear you. And I was the one that opened the door when they saw something in you and wanted to push. I was the one. And now you don't see need for me in your life. Okay, so we kill that. We thank you. We're not going to change. This is who we are. We're going to always be a door. That's how God created us. We're going to always be a door. I don't always have to be in the forefront. I love pushing. I love seeing greatness in someone else. I am not conceited. I do not feel like I am just the authority on everything. I do not feel like I can't learn anything. I am an ever learning student. I don't ever want to get to the place where I can't learn something. From the smallest child to the oldest adult, I can learn. I always find myself in a preaching message, even when they're not saying much. I can find me. Why? Because I always go to church with the desire to learn what more of me I can decrease so that God can supersede in that aspect. I don't have a problem with saying, you know what, take this person. Like for my bestie, I'm always promoting her to somebody. I will put her up against the best of best, because she's a beast in what she does. She can read you from the inside out, and I don't play with it. That's something I've never done. I've acknowledged that aspect of her in my life, and I usually try to tell her before God tells her, but I don't, because sometimes I don't want to burden her, and she'd be like, I'm tired of having to hear from God when you sitting right here with me. But I'm about pushing others. I just really live to make other people happy. That is when I'm at my best place, is knowing, that I've done something that made somebody feel like they matter, that I've said something to make somebody feel like it's okay to be where they are right now, that they won't be there always. I love to love. I love hard, so therefore I get hurt hard, because I keep on coming back. I have to be what I tell other people. If you never put your heart back out there, you'll never know what kind of love is out there waiting for you. But you got to take that chance the same way Christ did for us. So we've got to be able to know how to put on those noise canceling headphones. We got to know the right time to do it. That time before you blow. Like, I really need them to kind of like shut up, because if they don't shut up right now, I can see me. This is what you're saying. I can see me going off. I can see me and seeing, then I'm going to have to come back and apologize. So what I'm going to need to do, I need to put on those noise canceling headphones, because I know where I can go and it's not of God. And so I don't want to do anything that I have to come back and apologize for. I just don't. I make it a practice of trying not to do anything that I'm going to have to come back and apologize for it. Now, granted, if I've hurt your feelings, guess what? I can always apologize. Will I take back what I said? No. Because unlike people who lie and say that they only said it because they were upset, if it wasn't in you, it couldn't come out. You just didn't have the right opportunity to explode. And here it was. Words spoken can never be retracted. So you meant what you said. So there I go. I think before I speak in 99.9% of what I say. And when I come back, I can always apologize about how it made you feel. But my truth is my truth. And I used to hide it before, but I don't do that anymore, because I had to kill the noise. Those people who made me feel like I didn't have a right to those feelings. That person who made me feel like my opinion didn't matter, or I was talking nonsense. Yeah, it took some time. I'm telling you, it just did not happen soon enough for me. But if I could talk to my younger self right now, I could have saved her some years and some illnesses. If I just learned early on how to kill the noise. I'm telling you, if I could have just learned early how to kill the noise. Sometimes we are the noise in the spirit, because our presence stirs up the ungodly spirits. And in actuality, our godly noise kills the noise of the ungodly spirits, and they leave. I like that. Hope that makes sense. It makes real good sense. If my bestie was sitting here right now, she'd probably tell you how much sense that made. I'll read it again. Sometimes we are the noise in the spirit. Because of our presence, it stirs up the ungodly spirits. And in actuality, our godly noise kills the noise of the ungodly spirits, and they leave. You ever paid attention enough in church that when certain people come around, other people get fidgety? Or you get to a place in worship where the house is just going up, and you look around and you see like one or two people who are antsy in their seat, can't stop going in and out, go to the bathroom more in 15 minutes than they do in 2 hours. And it's just because they can't tolerate your presence. They can't tolerate what you just brought into the room. How do I know that to be so? There was a place that I went to, my bestie and I went to support someone that we hadn't met yet, but because they were also a spiritual daughter of our spiritual parents, when the person got up, they was like, oh my God, when you walked in the room, your presence caused my attention. It said that character and integrity had walked in the room. It said that, and it like blew me away, because I was like, it did all that because all I was doing was trying to figure out where I was going to sit, because it was a packed house. But you never know what your noise, as my cousin so graciously is putting it, your spiritual noise, that godly noise that you have within you, that says when you walk in the room that you don't even have to open your mouth. Because I'm not one of those people that have to be ushered to the front of the church. I can sit anywhere as long as I can be comfortable. As long as I'm free to worship, as long as I'm free to shout, as long as I'm free to shabak, I am good. I've never, and I hope God never changes that about me. While I demand respect, I don't have to be in the front of the church to get it. I just don't. I just don't. So yes, sometimes people want to kill our noise because we are just too loud in the spirit. My bestie is like that. Like, she just, man, you just gotta know her. She walk in that room when she's sits a certain way and start rocking, I'll be like, oh boy, let me move over. Just let me know now if it's me. Just because I don't even want no smoke. Because she is something. She start rocking. It's a whole different disposition. And there are so many people that we have learned is so intimidated by her, and she's just the sweetest. And she be wondering, like, what did I do? And it's all God. It's all God. And there's a noise that enters the room when she walks in. My cousin, this one that is on here talking now, the other prophet, when she walks into the room, there is a disposition that she carries that when she walks into that room, it says, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. I can sit over in the corner and mind my business. And it will still cause for people to see who I am. And people be like, oh my God, like, calm down, like bring it down. And when you be like, what are you talking about? And they be like, I feel you all the way over here. You don't feel me, you feel God. Because I'm trying to mind my business and I'm asking God to let me do the same. Because I came here to enjoy. I came here to be fed. I ain't come here for this. And here you are, somebody else on the other side of the room is simply saying, I wish they would just kill the noise. Let me just go to the bathroom. Those people that go to the bathroom and never make it back until they almost at benediction. Yeah, it's a real thing. Somebody is actually saying, I wish I could kill the noise. I wish I didn't see them. I wish I didn't have to look at them. I don't even want to walk past them and go to the bathroom. I wish there was another exit that let me go to where I have to go, because I just don't even want to walk past them. It is a real thing. It is a real thing. Killing the noise. We said something to my nephew slash son, because she had him, but I raised them, and so I claim him to be mine. We say to him, like, you gotta kind of like fade it out. Like, they're talking. It's one of those things, like I said in the beginning, like, it's like womp womp womp. It's like their lips are moving, but I really hear nothing but noise when they speak, because it's really annoying. It's really agitating my spirit. And sometimes that is what they've been sent to do. And so you've got to learn how to kill the noise. And sometimes that just means you making that exit and removing yourself from the environment, because why should you have to suffer through that? Not when I got a way out. No. And then sometimes all you're trying to do is enjoy the same atmosphere everybody else is enjoying, and then you can feel somebody looking at you, or you could feel somebody nudging the other one as they're looking at you, because they don't want you to know that they're actually having a discussion about you, that sometimes they think you can't hear. And as a prophet, sometimes that's what you're saying to God. Please kill the noise. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what they're saying. I just came to enjoy. I just came to enjoy myself. I just came to be here and support. God, please stop. Just kill the noise. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. That's something that my bestie does a lot. Even when we're in the nail salon, she be going over there and prophesying to people. Sometimes you just want God to kill the noise, and he won't do it. He won't do it. You know why? Because you're that one that he could depend on to do what he's saying to be done. Some people say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not hardly going to go over to that lady. We're in a whole nail salon. This lady don't know who I am. So what do I look like? And while she's saying all of that, she's still edging her way over there to say what God has to say. It happened just this week. And I just be in amazement sometimes with the way that God uses her. No jealousy, no intimidation, no inferiority complexes, or none of that. Just glad to be connected. She's glad to be connected to, because to whom much is given, much is required. And she can go in your life and read you from 9 years old to now and not miss a beat. She can describe the insides of your house. I don't even play with it. I don't even play with it, and she laughs at me sometimes. I be like, I don't know why these people play with you, because I don't. Because why lie when I know God going to show you? So, good night, good night, good night. Thanks for joining in. But we want to ask God to help us kill the noise. Kill the noise, because if He doesn't, sometimes it takes us out of character. We're saying things that, we just, it's in us, but we've been so good at holding it in up until now. Like, God, why? What is it about this person that ruffles those feathers? My cousin Marcia said good night.
Good night. I'm sorry, I'm trying to clean up.
Mm-hmm. But you just want to kill the noise. I appreciate you, cousin, if you're still there. I know you said good night. I appreciate you joining in and giving that input. It means a lot to me when my family is on here. It says so much. But we just want to kill the noise. And sometimes what I would suggest to you is as you go from this day forward, knowing what your triggers are, knowing what things set you off the quickest, just ask God for the ability to kill the noise. Ask Him for the ability to kill the noise so that you don't have to apologize unnecessarily, And some of us need to apologize because even though we don't do it, we've already done it in our mind. And according to the word, since you've already contemplated it, you've already did the sin. So, that's where I am right now. No matter where I find myself, if I'm in the store, if I'm at a family gathering, if I'm at a social gathering, if I'm at another church, God help me kill the noise. I don't care that I don't know the most popular gossip. I really don't. We stay in our own little circle, and when stuff happen and our name is in it, we be like, we over here minding our business. Why? And it's because some people just don't know how to kill the noise. And so my bestie is finished doing her head, meaning her granddaughter's head. She just put some, what do you call them, braids? Box braids. And so she's here, and it's almost time. It is really time for me to sign off. I'm trying to do good with this no more than an hour thing. I'm really doing pretty good. Just want to again say thank you to all of you who came on and participated. Sister Tori, Evangelist Tanasia, to Prophetess Marsha, to who else said something on here? I keep forgetting this thing. I don't want to miss nobody. That was it. Dom said bless. Okay, and to those of you who came on and you were just listening and you're just hearing this conversation, I'm telling you, I don't care what stage of life that you're in, you're going to find yourself at one point saying, just kill the noise. Just miss me with it. Say, hey, daughter, you kind of late. I'm getting ready to sign off. But we're talking about being able to kill the noise. So let me encourage you. Let me tell you what noise I'm talking about, though. I'll go back. All right. So when I looked up the word noise, because the topic tonight is killing the noise. So I looked up noise, and according to the Oxford Dictionary, it says it is a sound, especially one that is loud or unpleasant or that causes a disturbance. And so this is what we've been talking about tonight, killing the noise, the ability to remove yourself if it means tuning something out, someone out, anything that it's going to take to help you maintain your current character and integrity, something that won't allow you to have to go back and say, I'm sorry so much, and then I talked about noise canceling headphones, something we have at church right now, earbuds, not headphones. But it says the purpose of them is to reduce unwanted sounds. To reduce unwanted sounds. And many of us would just have to admit that some point in our lives, there was somebody talking and all you heard was wah, 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 because you wasn't trying to hear nothing they were saying. And so you would just, saying, just kill the noise. Just miss me with that. I don't even want to hear that. Thank you. Didn't ask for your opinion. Going now. And then sometimes removing or killing the noise means removing yourself. leaving early. There's nothing wrong with an early exit. If it means your sanity, if it means not allowing somebody to take you to a place where you're choosing no longer to be, we have to learn what things we need to do to cancel the noise. Tanasia said that this was good. Thank you for these conversations because they're helpful. That's all we try to do because, again, we never claim to be the authority on anything. We are ever learning. And when we learn, we like to share. And because, you hear things, and because I've been there, done that, really said, just miss me with it. Kill the noise. Not today. We're not doing this today. So what I'm gonna need you to do is either walk away or I'll leave. One of us needs to leave because we're not doing this today. And so you have to understand your triggers. Stop allowing people. Once you realize what your triggers are, you can control how you let people set them off. And sometimes you just gotta kill the noise. So like I was saying, get me sign off, but I never like to sign off without my bestie saying something to our people that show up for us every Wednesday. There she is, that queen.
Good topic tonight. I'm sorry, I'm extra tired and my back hurt. I think this was a really good topic tonight, and I think most importantly, what we have to learn how to do is tune things out when it doesn't feel good, when it doesn't sound good. We don't have to respond to everything that we hear. We have to learn how to just tune it out, how to cancel it out, and that takes growth. You don't get there overnight. Sometimes we want to respond to everything that somebody say. Oh, I'm gonna show them better than I could tell them. They want to see the real me. That save that energy for somebody else. So this is a good topic tonight, and it's helping all of us to learn how to cancel out the noise, especially from the enemy. That's the most
That's it.
vital sound that we need to cancel out because he can talk in our ear. He can say some crazy stuff to us. And that's the type of noise that we need to tune out and learn how to pray instead of talk. If we pray more than we talk, I think we'll have a better turnout in life. So tonight was a good topic, and I pray that you all got something out of it tonight.
See, y'all, I told you. So she's going to pray us out. All right? She's going to pray us out. We love you guys.
Father, we thank you and we praise you for this time of counseling out noise, God. Father, we pray that as we embark on this journey, God, help us tonight, Father, to realize what we should and should not respond to. We thank you tonight, God, for the founder as always. Bless her is my prayer as she continued to bring before us, God, what we need to help us to move forward in our lives. God, strengthen her is my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, guys, join us again next Wednesday at 9:15. As always, as always, if there's a topic that you would like for us to discuss, inbox us. Tell us, and we'll let you know, whether it's appropriate for this, but we like to hear what you want to talk about. Anything that's going to help you better you. That's the whole point of Loving the Me I See. Understanding that we are all fearfully and wonderfully made. We're all unique because God chose us differently. He walked through our lives. Each of us go through our own thing because of what God had already found he could trust us with. So if there's a topic that you would like for us to discuss, even if we don't know about it, we can reach out to somebody and try to get them on as a guest, because getting you healthy and helping you become whole. Apostle Priest the other week, broken to be made whole. Like sometimes we just really gotta humble ourselves. Some of us are so afraid of being humble or yielding or submitting to anything that we risk never being healed because we just refuse to submit. And submit does not have to be a curse. Submit means you accept the fact that there is something that needs to be done. And if you want to have something change in your life, sometimes you're the thing that needs to change. It's not always everybody else. So while we're canceling out those unwanted sounds, make sure we don't cancel out God, because sometimes he's talking to us louder than we want to admit. So join us again next Wednesday at 9:15. I don't know what we're going to be talking about then. Maybe my bestie will pick a subject, but join us next Wednesday at 9:15. We love you guys so much. Continue to stay prayerful, all right? As we go into this weekend of celebrations toward Resurrection Sunday, never lose sight of what it really was about, which is his resurrecting on that third day. Don't lose sight of it in all that we're doing, that we forget to remember that he died for a cause and he also rose for a greater cause so that we could be redeemed back unto the Father. Love you guys. See you later.